When that says live, then we go live, kid.
Hold on, it's live.
I was like,
Blah.
Those crickets. That might be sassy. Loud as fuck. That might be sassy. Are we live? Wait, not yet. We're live, but we're gonna start the GarageBand recording now.
oh Lord. Look at this pacing coming prepared.
Oh, ready?
If we have
3,
any fans right now, look at this. 2,
1.
let's get it in.
Yup. If one more label try to stop me, it's gonna be some dreadhead niggas in your lobby. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up on the mail. They go channel riding through the streets, they be like they go. You don't want no problem with me.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to that Fourth and Goal Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm here with your boys, Chris Pace,
Yo!
Matthew Winslade,
What up, everybody?
Craig Alexander,
What's Gucci?
and I didn't come prepared, so you know me. It's your boy Ball.
Bass is never prepared.
No nickname this week?
I can't think of one. Clark Westfield was definitely the best nickname I could have thought of.
But that's just the
And
name of 2
unfortunately-
towns.
It's pretty
You
good.
could definitely be more creative.
All right, you know
than
what? It's Lyndon Roselle.
Lyndon Roselle.
It's your boy,
Another
Lyndon
2
Roselle.
Another 2 towns.
But enough, guys. Because I got something to tell you guys. I got to get this shit off my chest. Honestly. This just isn't as fun. I'm not having fun anymore with this.
What are you talking about?
Every time I go and check out the YouTube, dog, I'm looking at the views. I want to see how many people are checking us out, taking in all this beautiful fantasy knowledge.
True.
And I go in and our videos are always getting flagged. They just don't treat us the same as the other podcast, man. It's not fun anymore. If it's not fun, why am I doing it?
Yo, are you crying, Bass?
There's tears. Every time, man. They need to feed us more views, man. We're
agree.
out here
We need
trying to
more
win
views.
games, dog. But I need more views.
Let us
This
eat.
is sponsored by Odell Beckham Jr. But nah, for real, guys.
You gotta
We
go.
got to get past week 4.
Week 4.
We got to get past it. And you know how we get past that week 4? We start the show off live. Game balls of the week. Your favorite segment. We got them game balls. We had a couple fantasy studs out there this week. Who wants to start us off with them game balls?
I think I'll start us out this week.
Oh.
Who you got for me,
Let's
Slade?
hear it.
My game ball for week 4 was none other than Big Ben Roethlisberger for the Pittsburgh Steelers. My man had over 300 yards, actually 300 on the dot, matter of fact, and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions against my last week's game ball, the Kansas City Chiefs defense. How ironic.
It was ignorant, man. That KC defense was good, but Ben Roethlisberger tore them up. I like
Dude,
that.
no, it's just that Fitzpatrick is terrible. That's why.
Very true.
True.
Six interceptions. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
Ben was never going to do that.
that's one of the worst.
He
I've ever
forced
seen,
so many
but-
balls into the end zone, into triple coverage. It was one of the craziest performances I've ever seen.
But we know one thing for sure, that Ben Roethlisberger is not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't afraid to go deep.
No, he has weapons to go deep, so why wouldn't you be?
Oh,
He's
of
getting
course.
it all game.
Big Ben is a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to finish the top 5 quarterback in fantasy, I would assume.
Without a doubt.
Just
But-
because of how many weapons he has. Yeah, as long as Le'Veon Bell, him, and Ant Brown stay
Without a
healthy.
doubt. But yeah, with his 44 in fantasy this week, he definitely gets my game
Yeah.
ball. He went off.
Very fantastic.
And on prime time. Means a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, Pace. Who you going with this week?
This week I'm going with Michael Crabtree.
Michael
Crab-
Crabtree.
Went
He's
off-
mediocre.
Went
Yeah.
off.
He
3
did.
touchdowns, 88 yards, 7 catches.
Ew.
Got the win for the Raiders. Also beat me in fantasy, which
That hurts more.
But he killed it this week. He gets the game ball for me.
3 touchdowns, too.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's got to be career
The
high. Right?
crab.
He's getting all Derek Carr's red zone looks.
How many yards did he have?
88.
88?
Yeah.
Well, he still caught some amazing balls, honestly.
No doubt.
Derek Carr threw some crazy passes. He looks like probably the best quarterback out of that draft class. With Bortles and...
Bortles.
That was a relatively weak
Why
draft
not?
class.
How
Why are you
they?
laughing, Bass?
It was ignorant.
I know you ain't laughing, you just got beat by Bortles. Your home team.
Doesn't matter. Our team's way worse than Bortles.
Your offensive line
But
is,
it's
that's for
whatever.
sure.
In the Europe game of the week.
We ain't
Cool
talking about that
Sherlock.
Europe game. That's your guys' home game. That's how you say it.
Yeah, whatever. We still won it.
It's ignorant. I'm very, very angry about
Well,
that
that's
game.
what happens, dude. When you're more
But-
talented.
What can you do? You can just move on to the next game ball.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly what you're going to do. You're going to move on to the next game ball, which is me.
Who's your game
And
ball?
I'm going to be riding alongside Slade. Because I'm taking Ant Brown.
And
Ooh,
Brown.
Wow.
Antonio.
My homeboy, Ant Brown, had only 4 catches for 64 yards. But he had 2 touchdowns. And it was on 5 targets. He only got 5 looks, and he had 2 touchdowns out of that. So he gets my game ball. He got 20 points. And Ant Brown is going to continue to be the best weapon in the NFL.
With Le'Veon Bell back, I think it only opens up things, especially deeper down the field for Antonio Brown.
Absolutely.
He's probably going to continue to eat for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I can see them dismantling a lot of defenses for the rest of the season as long as, like I said, all 3 of those players stay healthy.
Yeah.
Three-headed monster at the skill
Yeah.
positions.
Agreed.
All right. First 3 game balls.
What you got?
That's who
Chris?
you going with this week.
So-
Here's your game ball.
Let's cap this off. We got Ant Brown, Michael Crabtree, and
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger.
Big
You
Ben.
know what? I'm going to go 2-2. It'd be too easy to give it to Julio. Let's go with the guy who pretty much made Julio go off for 300 yards. Matt Ryan.
Matty
The
The
Ice.
young kid, Matty Ryan, came to ball. Matt Ryan had 500 yards on the Carolina Panthers. Now, I understand 2 rookie cornerbacks, but Matt Ryan is the number 1 fantasy quarterback. He's done it to everybody out there. Matt Ryan definitely deserves that game ball, man. He showed up, killed it.
Yeah.
Looking like the first quarter MVP, in my opinion.
Best game
in the
he's ever
league.
had, obviously.
Oh, without a doubt. He
There
threw
was a lot of
4
blown
touchdowns.
coverages, though.
500
that
yards,
assisted
4
him.
He
touchdowns.
did benefit a lot from
Granted.
the best receivers in the league going
Granted.
off 300 of his 500.
Only had 1 touchdown, though. Matt
True.
Ryan threw up 3 other ones.
Very true.
I mean, 4th game ball's got to go to Matty. Matty Ice.
Matty Ice ball.
Yeah. He's been consistent so far.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can actually maintain that. He said that he understands Kyle Shanahan more this season than he did last season when he was turning the ball over in the red zone all the time. Now he said he understands it and he's got a better control on it. So, and the offense kind of shows that, honestly.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
we'll see if that's what the case is or if it's just too early.
Yeah, the run game strong opens up the game for Matt Ryan. I know Sanu's not really been there, but
Sadly,
Sanu
I thought he was going
is
to
a good
outperform
weapon.
Jones.
Yeah. Matt Stafford likes to get on those guys, though. He loves to find him that new Calvin. Always throwing to somebody, and
Got-
it's usually one person.
Guess who the Falcons play this week?
The
Who dat?
Denver
Denver
Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Von
Matty
Miller.
Ice-
Stoppers.
Matty Ice might really cool down this
Yeah,
week.
That
what'll
is-
happen.
That's going to be a rough game. I mean, that's, in my opinion, the second best defense in the league. You got to go with the Vikings.
Top 2, easy.
Top 2, without a question. Cardinals are up there, but it's Broncos and Vikings. And Matt Ryan's going to have to find a way to pick apart a team that's, giving up. Are they still at 1 touchdown on the season? 1 passing touchdown on the season?
It was Broncos.
Broncos
Yeah,
only
with
allowed
just
1
Andrew
passing
Luck.
touchdown,
That's
correct,
insane.
yeah.
Just Andrew Luck has scored on them. They played Cam Newton. What else they played? They didn't play Jameis yet. They played Jameis this week. Either way, they've just shut down people. We'll have to see if Matt Ryan can get that game ball next week.
Yeah, he might.
Really have
But
to see.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Eagles' defense when you were talking about it.
Yeah.
because they haven't allowed a passing touchdown all
Oh,
season.
yeah, I was gonna say that. That's crazy.
So
Without a doubt. I forgot.
they're
about
going with the
Eagles.
wide 9, which is what the Dolphins are also doing, but the Dolphins are not executing it as well as the Eagles. They don't have as good of a pass rush, which is crazy to say with Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh
Yeah.
on the line, but
Even
for some
Mario
reason-
Williams. He hasn't done
Mario
nothing.
Williams hasn't done anything really.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent. They're just
Either.
nothing seems to be working down there in Miami right
Yeah,
now.
it's crazy. Every year they think that it's going to turn around, and every year it falters. It's going on for a while. How many years has Tannehill been the starting quarterback there? Like 4, 5?
Easily 5 years right now.
Right, at least.
Mhm.
And he's underperformed every year, and he somehow got a $100 million contract. He's still in Miami starting, and he still looks very subpar.
Well, I mean,
Pitiful performance last week in that Thursday night game.
Yeah. I mean, he had Kenny Stills wide open that one play, and it looked like they were about to rip open the Bengals. And then after that,
nothing.
they just shut them down
A goose egg for the
the
game.
whole,
after
the whole
that.
time. Yeah.
Is that one Kenny Stills play? That's it, and
Yeah,
they were done.
it was just one broken coverage.
Yeah, one catch, 74 yards.
Yeah,
Touchdown.
actually, speaking about Cincinnati, I know they want to hear about it. It's them Eifert owners.
Yeah.
Eifert got hurt again. After not playing for 4 weeks, somehow my man got hurt.
His back.
Hurt his back.
Yeah.
Now, they're saying he may play,
Yeah.
but it'd probably be smart not to
I
play
think it's
him.
a smokescreen. Just like everyone's saying Dez might play.
We'll see. Look what
Sunday.
the
Not
Patriots
playing.
did with Gronk. They said, okay, he's going to play. So even if Eifert plays, maybe he's
He
just
just
a
blocks.
distraction like Gronk was.
Yeah, doesn't make him run.
Blocks. Maybe not even
No,
blocks,
he
just
shouldn't
goes out
block.
for some
It should
fade.
just be receptions, because if his back's
Mhm.
hurting him, that wouldn't really make sense to try to put him on blocking. But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way, I don't think you play him at all this week. in
No, you
fantasy.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
Whoa,
for owners,
no,
beware.
definitely not in fantasy.
No way.
No, that's way too big of a risk.
I don't think I'd start him yet. He's such a good tight end, but you might as well just wait to see until he pops off. You got to see it when he's playing, how he looks. You never know.
Yeah.
But speaking of other players you don't want to don't want to start, my bad. It's probably them bye week players.
Yeah,
You know?
typically.
I think I got another case of the bye week blues this week.
I think that's
It's
gonna
pretty
happen,
terrible.
dog, for the next 9 weeks.
Oh my god. Every time I go to set my lineup on Wednesday after I got my players, I just see all these buys. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are these guys not playing? And from this last week, 2 teams were off. Now it's 4 teams. The Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Saints, and drawing a blank.
Hmm?
And the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the
You
Jags.
got it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. But we're gonna bring it back this week. You got to. This is gonna be a big one for the next 9 weeks of buys. We going with them bye week blues.
Yeah.
Oh.
Quarterback's actually a pretty big one on this one. Russell Wilson's out.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, Blake Bortles. Nah, but Blake Bortles and
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith really isn't relevant. I wouldn't think. If you
Nah.
got to start Alex
In
Smith,
deeper
there's
leagues.
something wrong with your squad. In deeper leagues, yeah. But in that traditional 10, if Alex Smith is starting in your league, that's
But-
pretty crazy.
But yeah, forget about it.
You could probably find 20 quarterbacks that are better than Alex Smith.
Yeah, Alex Smith just
Well, forget
took the
about
ball
him.
off for 5 yards,
Yeah.
just like Sammy B.
Forget about him. Who you guys starting? Fortunately, I don't have any of these quarterbacks. I know some
don't
of
have
you
it.
guys are,
It's not
so
just the quarterbacks. There's more positions
Yeah.
on the team.
you want
Like,
to...
for instance, I'm sure Matt has Allen Robinson on the bench because the
Oh, yeah.
Jaguars are on that bye.
Well, we'll get to them.
I do,
The
but-
bye week blues. We're going to cover everything.
Well, I have.
We got to
Russ.
help you out. There's too
Yeah,
much to
yes.
handle. We need to help you.
Let me help you, Baz.
So you know what? Pace, help me. Help me.
I picked up. I have Russell Wilson, who's on a bye, so I picked up Jameis Winston on waivers. I'm gonna check his owning percent right now because I think I just got lucky with that. He's probably
high.
owned in a high amount. Okay, he's owned in 57.3%. So you can maybe get
That's
him.
pretty decent.
It's not
He's,
terrible. You can still find him
yeah, he's playing
if you're
Carolina.
lucky.
Playing Carolina at their place. So
And
That's
just
not
about
that-
500 yards passing.
yeah. So
For 1
week, he's
yards
fine.
by one. All he needs to do is have Mike Evans pop off for 300 yards, and his game looks great.
That's what I'm saying. He has a 33, a 5, a 31, and a 10 in fantasy. So he's due for another 30. So we'll see. But for just this week, I'm picking him up. I don't think I'll really keep him after this.
Oh, without a
I'm
doubt.
going to keep playing Russell the rest of the year.
No one would say that's a bad idea.
No doubt.
All right. Let's go with you, Craig. Who you got? Who you starting?
I got Andy Dalton starting for me.
Dalton.
And that's not just because I have a bye. I'm benching Matthew Stafford. And
Oh, yeah.
so, his performance last week was the worst game he had under offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter. And, of course, it's the first week I start him of the season. So that was fun for me. But I'm starting Andy Dalton against the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Smart.
And I think that him and AJ Green are going to light it up, and also that I don't think their defense may be able to not stop Ezekiel or Dak. So if that's the case, then Gio Bernard's going to get involved. There's going to be some receiving, and I think that that's going to be a good hookup for him to get some extra yards, pad up his stats, and I can see him going off for like 20 at least, which would be nice because I picked him up.
You starting him?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Good luck.
hopefully that pays off in dividends. I'll have
Yeah.
to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see.
Gotta wait and see.
What you got?
That's a good
Pat?
pick, though.
What you got, Ball?
Me?
Yeah.
I gotta go with the obvious one.
Who that?
He's playing my team, kid.
Playing your team?
That trash secondary.
Don't do it.
I gotta go with Hoyer.
Don't say it.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, come on, man.
You
You're
gonna tell
really
people to
trusting
pick
him?
up Brian Hoyer?
Gotta go against
that's
my
a
team,
real
man.
ball or bust move.
The thing is, Indy's secondary has been so banged up, and you really don't even got to worry about Indy's secondary because just look what Hoyer has done in the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, he's put up 300 yards and 2
Who do
touchdowns.
you play, though? The Dallas
at
Cowboys
least.
and who else?
Cowboys. That's nothing to blink your eye at.
Yeah. I'll
Indy's definitely something
I'll
you
bat
can
my
bat your
lashes
eye
a couple
out to.
times at it.
I wish I could look at Brian Hoyer right now.
Yeah, so do I. So you can tell me who else he played other than Dallas. It's like, can you tell
And
me
somehow I'm looking at Jameis Winston. Technical error.
All right, so I'm going to help the people out looking for a QB in deeper leagues over here. So
Thank God.
Cam Newton is likely out for the week with a concussion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter of last week's game, in late third into fourth quarter of last week's game, Derek Anderson had 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. Against the Atlanta Falcons.
No!
Say what you want.
Derek
He was moving the rock down there in Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
And getting the ball in the end zone.
Atlanta
So if
defense
you're
is
looking
not
for a
good.
streaming quarterback in leagues, they play Tampa Bay this week, Craig. Tampa Bay can't
All right,
stop the pass.
That's true. Tampa Bay is terrible at
Slaves.
pass.
So I'm
He
telling the
threw 2
people,
touchdowns. Yes, he did.
if you're in a pinch start situation,
He threw 2 touchdowns, though. But he
did.
also threw 2 peaks.
Derek Anderson did not throw a single interception.
Yeah, he did. I saw him throw one clear right into the cornerback's arms on red zone.
You did.
The
Yeah.
same guy had 2 picks, that Aldrich
I don't know if he
Robinson
had
or something.
two, but I know he had one.
Guys, it's all right. I'm going to check that. He had 2 interceptions.
Check
No
that.
doubt, dude.
Check
Came
that.
back to his true form after leading 2 drives.
Check that.
Yeah. I mean, some
He said,
quarterbacks
"I
are just
really-
what they are. That's why they're consistently backups.
Another,
I really didn't
another
feel like
quarterback I
running
do
today.
think we should finally discuss, guys,
Who?
on
Don't.
the show.
Don't.
Who?
It's that young rookie in Philly.
Don't.
Yeah, Carson.
Going to
Carson
Detroit this
Wentz.
week.
No!
Take on the Lions.
Oh my god.
If you got a quarterback on a bye and you're
All
looking
right.
to stream a guy that could potentially get you 300 yards,
That is
and
true,
2 or 3
honestly.
touchdowns on the
All
The
road,
Lions defense is awful.
maybe look for Carson Wentz.
Bass is cutting in.
Oh.
You can't pick up Carson Wentz. He's owned in 80%.
That is true. He is owned in a lot of leagues.
Who I said Hoyer is owned in only 13.6% of leagues,
Slays
going
defense.
up against arguably one of the worst defenses in the
Slays
league.
defense.
And the second worst defense after that.
I picked Andy Dalton, who was owned in 71.
I mean, check
Carson
that.
Wentz is
Should've
coming off a
checked that.
bye in a lot of leagues. He's available.
No,
Start
he's
him.
not available
Okay,
in a
my
lot
bad.
of leagues. It's right
Definitely
there.
start him. Understandable. Right here, 13.
Hoyer.
Andy Dalton is like 79, 72
Wow.
or something.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, whatever. But enough of the quarterbacks. There's also some big running backs, and this one hurt me deep down. Mark Ingram's out. That one hurt. I couldn't believe it, dude. I just traded for him 2 weeks ago, and he's been getting 18 and 20s, and now he's out.
Yeah. I mean, I knew he was going to come around. He just gets way too much volume in that offense.
And I mean, you could have Thomas Rawls. Well, Thomas Rawls
Wasn't only a bye? Is Mark Ingram injured?
Yeah.
No.
he was on the bye.
Bye. Come on now.
How terrible.
Speaking of injured, Thomas Rawls, Kristen Michael's been looking good in his spot.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people will have him.
I can't believe that, honestly. I thought he would just flounder out again.
Yeah. Jamal Charles. Well,
He played like two.
Did he play?
He
Yeah.
ran on the ball. Like
Either
two
way,
times.
Jamal Charles. Spencer Ware.
Yeah.
Spencer
Sure.
Ware
Spencer
is
Ware
out.
seems to still be the guy to have in Kansas City for the time.
And I mean,
No
if
doubt.
you got to start Yeldon, he's out too. But
Chris
guys.
Ivory as well.
Yeah.
I needed a back. Who you guys suggesting?
You needed to be.
Who are we going for them backs?
There is plenty of guys available this week, people.
Absolutely.
Out there.
There was a lot of good running backs to pick up, honestly.
Who's starting us out?
Some leagues didn't even have Jordan Howard.
Hey.
One of the big
It's
names
like
right now is
40%.
rookie running back for the Raiders, DeAndre Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He's available in over 55% of leagues still. He's likely to be the starter this weekend with Latavius Murray out with an injury.
Mm.
So him and Jalen Richard will split duties. DeAndre likely to get the larger work share. So if he's available in your league, I would go out and pick him up. There's be some quality running backs on bye this week, and he could be a spot start for your fantasy lineup. Maybe even going forward if Latavius Murray's injury is lingering.
Mhm.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, he's already shown that he can be elusive. He ran for that 70-yard touchdown earlier in the first or second game of the season. So
He has a very high yards per carry right now.
he basically goes for big plays or nothing. He's kind of like Chris Johnson was.
Well, maybe with a little workload in there.
Yeah,
He could
absolutely.
potentially be a big fantasy player.
Uptick in volume always can help that. So yeah, I think that's a possibility.
Without a doubt. You want to grace us with some knowledge, Craig?
Grace you with some
Who
knowledge.
you got for me? I need a spot start.
You need a spot start, bro. I mean, I would probably go with Bilal Powell.
Leo Powell? Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you going?
Because I read that he only played in 3 less snaps than Matt Forte last week. Matt Forte is the starting running back, so
No, Matt Forte, that's a bad man.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a bad man. But
last week he was a bad man.
yeah,
But usually
been
he's a
performing
bad man.
He didn't ball out, but Bilal Powell doesn't get a lot of rushing attempts. He's more of a passing down back. So they pulled Forte off, who's usually a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But they were giving him a lot of volume in the beginning of the season, so I see them cutting back to try to maintain his health longer into the season so he lasts. And so that's smart on their part. And then Powell's an excellent receiver, so he's already accrued over 110 yards in receiving.
Yeah.
So
If you don't have him as a handcuff to Matt Forte either way, you might as well pick him up.
Yeah.
Especially in PPR leagues.
Yeah, exactly.
Leo Powell gets some work in that
for
offense.
PPR specifically, because rushing attempts, who knows how many that's going to come. That's few and far in between.
All right.
You got one,
Yeah,
guys?
I got you one. He didn't have a great week last week, but I'm going to go with Cameron Artis-Payne at Panthers running back. Look, I just don't see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up on them like the Falcons did. They were kind of forced to kind of pass the ball. He only got 6 attempts and only turned it into 12 yards. But I feel like even if Cam doesn't start, if Cam starts, they're going to run the ball. If Cam doesn't start, they need to run the ball to take the pressure off of Derek Anderson. I don't think Tampa Bay's offense is really going to be able to tear apart that Carolina offense like the Falcons were. I think Cameron Artis-Payne goes off in this game, might get you a couple fantasy points in replace of, for me, Mark Ingram, but there's a decent amount of starting backs this week. So, yeah, go pick him up. He's available in 69.5% of leagues.
Wow.
Nice.
And it's Carolina. Carolina loves to run that ball, baby. All right, Pace, wrap up them running backs. Who you got?
If you need a running back this week, I recommend picking up Orleans Darkwa, starting running back for the Giants.
Yeah.
He's been pretty consistent the past couple weeks against Washington and Minnesota, 11.5 and a 10 past 2 weeks. So he seems to be on a roll. I guess he's the starting runner now. Jennings isn't coming back this week, so if you need someone just for the week for running back, Darkwa's the way to go. Scored a touchdown last week and 48 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah, that's really good production, honestly, for a fill-in back, for the third back, honestly.
Yeah.
Because first was Jennings, then it was Vereen, and then Jennings went down, then Vereen went down, now it's Orleans Darkwa, so.
Yeah, it could be all Darkwa again this week, right?
Should be.
Yeah, they're playing Green Bay, so.
And Green Bay's pretty stout against the run, but
We'll check that a little
they can
later.
probably open it up with the passing game and then give him some carries.
Yeah.
That'll be holes.
We'll definitely check that a little later.
One more note I wanted to add on the free agent running backs. If he's still available in your leagues, Kenneth Dixon, the rookie running back for the Ravens, is available in 70% of leagues right now. And while it might be Terrence West at the moment, they're saying since the beginning of the year that Kenneth Dixon is likely to be their starter going forward. In November and December, he could be the one likely getting the larger work share, the 20 carries a game, the touchdowns on the goal line for the Ravens. So I think if he's available and you have an injured backfield or you just are looking to upgrade at the position, go out and get Kenneth Dixon while he's still there, because you'll see in a few weeks why he's not.
He was supposedly a great receiving back in college as well. So they might just put him into the offense in a receiving position this week to try to get him just out and running on the field because he's coming off the MCL tear. So
And the kid could potentially take off and run with it. So
Yeah.
if he's available in your league, I would just at least put a flyer on it.
I mean, the only reason that bothers me is because all through preseason, Terran West was supposed to be that guy. The Ravens were talking about him. They bring Forsett back at the last minute and start him. They benched him last week, and Terrence West goes off for 115 and a touchdown. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about Kenneth Dixon, but I think they're going to make him prove that he's better than West, and who knows, it's a job up for grabs. Maybe West in turn takes that job and runs with it. So, I mean, he's definitely a guy to stash on your bench. There's big potential there. But you gotta give me more, kid.
Well, it's rare you
Bring
can
me
find a
more.
starting running back this late
It
in the
is,
free
it
agency.
is.
So if he can eventually become that, he's worth
I was
stashing.
looking for Terrence West. I couldn't find that man.
yeah,
Could not.
he's like one of the first taken off of waivers this week.
Yeah. I didn't even go on waivers. Instead, I got Herndon.
Speaking of some other wide receivers, Bash, you leading us off with who to pick up?
Yeah,
Wide
Receivers.
I
receiver-wise?
need help, Bass.
Oh, my Lord. I don't want to dare tell you.
Why not, man?
I'm
need
gonna go.
help.
I'm gonna go with the little home bias right here, cause I'm a smart man, loyal man, and I'm telling you, this is risky biz. This is very risky biz. But if you need somebody, maybe you go with Sammy Coates playing the Jets at Pittsburgh receiver. Yo,
Deep
that
threat, sure.
second wide receiver role is wide open. This man, check it. 20 yards plus receptions. He's tied for second. The only person beating him right now is A.J. Green. They really like him. Darius Hayward-Bay, now not saying anything about him, but he actually compared Sammy Coates to Martavis Bryant, who we know is a stunner. Once he starts finding them that end zone, you might even just stash this man on your bench. That's a prolific offense, one of the best passing offenses in the league. You saw Big Ben throw 5 touchdowns against those boys. I'm going with Sammy Coates.
No doubt.
I like Coates.
Good deal.
Good pickup.
That's a major
You're the
key.
man.
How many percent of leagues is he available in, Bass? Can you still get Sammy Coates?
Like 10%
Oh,
probably?
it's like
No,
20,
he's not even in a lot. at all.
27%. You can go pick this man up. I'm telling you, risky biz. No receiver for the Steelers has really taken that job, but Sammy Coates is looking the best out of all 3 of those guys. Better than Marcus Wheaton, who went off last year, and they were pretty high on Eli Rogers. And yeah, he's injured right now, but Sammy Coates is kind of taking it over. I'm gonna go with him. That's a risky business start.
Yeah.
Who's kicking it off? Maybe you need a receiver. I'm good. I got Jordy back. Who you got, Craig? Who you going with?
Receiver dog?
Come on, bring me a receiver.
Yeah, what do you guys know about Adam Humphries?
Adam
I know a lot about
Humphries.
him.
You know a lot
I've been
about him?
monitoring him.
Adam Humphries.
He's only owned in 5.9%.
Yeah.
League zero. Check this out. In week 2, he had 6 catches for 67 yards. That's 9 fantasy points. And then in week 3 against the Rams, he had 9 catches and 100 yards. 14 and a half fantasy. And then the week after that, he played Denver, so he only had 1 catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
That's
Then he
understandable.
then he plays Carolina this week. I think he might pop off again.
He could
He
easily.
could,
He's
dude.
James's second favorite target right now on that offense.
That
No doubt.
I said mine was risky biz. That's a little bit of risky biz.
Risky?
Not really.
Biz,
He's
what do
been
you mean?
Increasing in receptions and yards each game. It's just he played Denver.
There's a
which
lot
is the
of
best
mouths to
defense
feed
in-
over in that Tampa Bay
Come
offense, and
on.
I've never heard of.
Did you hear the numbers I just said?
Humphreys.
9
It was
catches
great.
for
That
100
was
yards?
insane. But that was the Rams, who are more focused on Mike Evans. I like it, but that's some risky biz as well.
Wow.
I'm cutting in.
That's reckless.
That's rude, Bass.
I think he's worth keeping an eye on, especially in PPR leagues. If you
PPR,
trying to
yeah.
see volume
PPR, he could
and
be
targets
great.
like
He
this.
gets so
Yeah.
many screen passes. It's unreal.
You know
Speaking
me.
of screen passes,
I'm usually wrong about everything.
Wait, who was your player again?
Same
God
code.
damn it, Sammy Coates.
Sammy Coates. Would you start Coates over Adam Humphreys? All you guys, yeah.
yeah,
No.
but I got a guy that I'm playing
I
over
like the
both of
offense
those
better.
guys.
Let's hear this.
All right,
I
you
wouldn't.
playing?
That guy right there is Eddie Royal from Chicago.
Eddie Royal. Oh,
Kevin White
Lord,
placed
I
on IR
forgot.
this week. Alshon
Kevin
Jeffrey
White.
constantly banged up.
Royals banged up too now.
Eddie Royal has a questionable tag right now,
They always get that now.
Yeah.
but he played fantastic in the game last week. He had
Absolutely.
7 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Caught all 7 of his targets, actually. Seemed to be Hoyer's favorite receiver in the game. Going against the beat-up Colts secondary again, looking underneath, I could see a lot of receptions going Royals' way this week.
No doubt.
So if you're looking for a receiver now, maybe going forward for the next couple weeks, actually, I think Eddie Royal is a great pickup.
Ah, that is a good one. Eddie
He's averaging-
Royal's streaky.
He's averaging double-digit points right now, so like you said, he's streaky. I'm going to ride this streak.
Very streaky,
He's
man.
available in my league.
He can go off for a couple games, and then you can drop him again.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
Cutler comes back, probably.
Yo, I mean, I gotta go with a young buck.
Who?
Who's that young?
Who's the young?
He plays with a man who's coming back angry to the league. Pissed off that he's missed the first couple of games.
Oh.
Touchdown Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Touchdown, Tom.
I'm talking about Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan.
Owned in
Chris
32% of
Hogan.
leagues.
Who is Chris Hogan?
Now that is a name I have not heard
Used
since
to play
week
for the
1.
Bills.
I haven't heard this Chris Hogan man ever.
You probably haven't heard it in a while, but you're gonna start
Nah,
hearing about
that
it.
old Buffalo Bill.
I think he's going to be the second wide receiver. He's been on the field for as many snaps as Julian Edelman in all the games this season. So I think he's going to be heavily involved in those quick little screen pick plays they like to run. That's going to get him a lot of receptions, a lot of yards, and him and Julian Edelman are going to be a good 1-2 combo because he actually has hands, unlike Brendan LaFell.
Yeah.
So,
That helps.
Yeah.
and I mean,
That's
if you
a
have
good
Tom
one.
Brady, it helps.
Oh, Tom Brady's a G. Who cares? All right. There's some good receivers. You could definitely start some of them guys in the league. Others are kind of risky biz.
Like Chris
But
Hogan.
let's move on. Let's go with tight ends.
Tight ends.
Tight ends are a little weaker. Oh, besides Kelsey. Kelsey's dope. Julius Thomas isn't playing, so you really starting Mercedes Lewis. Kobe Fleener.
I don't think many people worried about Kobe Fleener.
No, nobody's worried about Kobe Fleener. Kobe Fleener's supposed to be good for like 2 years. All he can do is catch passes yet every time he drops the ball. I would never have Kobe Fleener. Drew Brees can't even make him look good. Look at that. And Jimmy Graham, the comeback kid, got him on my bench
that's
right now,
nothing.
finning to start. 2 straight 100-yard games.
He'll disappear.
Is he going to be the fantasy monster he used to be, though, Craig?
No, he's going to
Russell
disappear.
Wilson
What the
is
hell did I just
looking
say?
at this man like a gift from God and saying, oh, wait, I've had this man on my team for 2 years, and I have not thrown him the ball once. He goes off. Jimmy Graham might be back. But Jimmy Graham ain't going to be
Possibly.
back this week. Tight ends. I need them. Who you got? Who's starting us off with this one?
I mean, I could start us off.
All right, let's
Who you
go.
picking up, Craig?
Yeah.
I'll pick up a young man named Jesse James.
Jesse
How dare you
James.
steal
The
my
outlaw.
pick?
Steal your
Oh,
pick.
Steal my pick.
Well, then I guess you should have gone first, shouldn't you?
I guess I should have.
Well, from now on, you know. This is what you get for stealing Dwayne Washington from me last week, dude.
Oh.
Now you know how it feels. All right. So going to Ishberg, I got Jesse James, and the only reason I'm taking Jesse James is strictly because of his high passing offense and Ben Roethlisberger. Those are my
Man.
2 reasons. I think he's easily going to get a touchdown, and then for yards and receptions, who knows? But he could get an 8 for you, and that's a good fill-in for a tight end.
Without a doubt.
A guy I'm going to go with, who I actually still can't believe is available in a lot of leagues. He's the 8th ranked tight end in all of fantasy right now. It's Cameron Brate. He seems to have taken on the red zone target for Jameis Winston out there in Tampa Bay. And he also seems to be their number 2 receiver going forward. I mean, outside of Mike Evans, they really don't have a lot going for them. An aging Vincent Jackson, not a lot of other receiver depth. And then they have Cameron Brate. So if he's available in your league, I would go get him, especially with how weak tight ends have been so far this year.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Plus, he's going to get a lot of volume.
And they like him a lot.
All right, Pace. I know you're going to go with him, so just do it.
I'm picking another risky pick.
Oh, I love risk.
Especially because he's on one of the
Love
worst
gambling.
one of the worst teams in the league.
Who
But
is?
it's going to be Dwayne Allen.
Dwayne Allen.
Dwayne Allen against
Dwayne
Chicago.
Allen.
Against Chicago.
That
Yeah,
dirt.
Chicago.
Yeah, apparently Jack Doyle didn't do like anything last week.
No, he didn't.
So they're probably going to try to just start Dwayne, and hopefully he gets a lot of catches. I could see him catching a touchdown this week. And he is the 15th ranked tight end, which isn't really that good actually, but there aren't that many good tight ends, so
Without a
only
doubt.
owned in 46%. He's definitely there for a week if you need a tight end from an injury or a bye or something.
Can't
Without a
believe he's
doubt.
owned in more leagues than Cameron Brate. That's actually absurd.
Yeah, right.
Available in 65% of leagues.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, it's my turn. I got you. I know. It should. It should be my Hail
I mean,
Mary
people are
right
trying
now.
to steal each other's.
But we ain't
things
doing Hail
again.
Mary
Here it
right now.
goes.
But no. We ain't doing Hail Mary right now.
I know that.
But if you need them, might as well pick them up. It's Richard Rodgers.
Richard Rodgers.
Richard Rodgers. This man is owned in 6.3% of leagues. Jared
Richard
Cook
Rodgers.
is out with a high ankle sprain. He catches not only passes, he catches Hail Marys.
Walk off.
This man's worth a look. Rodgers called on the first half of the game before the bye week against Detroit. They just had a bye. Maybe Rodgers picks it up with more than just Jordy Nelson, and it's worth a shot in the dark to go start the Packers starting tight end. I mean, I'm going with Richard Rodgers.
Richard Rodgers.
If you need him, start him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said Dwayne Allen, but I really would go with Richard Rodgers over him. I was just saving Richard Rodgers from my Hail Mary pick.
Sorry.
Not trying to get bad advice out here. But
That's
So
about
you-
getting sleazed
well,
right there.
well, now we all know who your Hail Mary pick's going to be, so
Yes.
great. I love it, baby.
I'll come up with
Thanks for
another one
ruining
now.
it, dude.
I have a lot of sources this week.
You
Helping
have
me out.
no power.
Come on, son.
But okay. That's enough. I'm sick of talking about tight ends. What wins you championships? It's that defense. And there's some defenses out this week. Seattle, New Orleans, Kansas City.
That's funny.
They
You
had a
said New
fluke game.
Orleans.
Shut up.
You said New Orleans. That's hilarious.
That's why I had to pause. I almost couldn't do it. I almost cracked up at the thought of even saying New Orleans.
Kansas City. That was
And-
a smart play last week, wasn't it?
And Jacksonville. I mean,
That
some
was a
people
smart.
might have to
Negative
start some
4.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's okay. I would never start them again. But you're definitely going to need a defense this week. Guys, who are we picking up on defense this week? Where's the matchups at? Who's kicking us off?
Matchups. That's
Dude, I still don't have one. I've been trying to find a defense all week because I currently have the Packers starting against the Giants, and I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Bass, you said defense wins you championships?
Defense wins you championships.
Well, I'm going to go with a defense that over the course of time has won a lot of championships. The Steel Curtain this week.
Tell us.
First, the Jets. The Jets have been struggling, man. Their offense has been in shambles lately. They struggled against Seattle. They struggled against Kansas City the week before that. I don't trust the Jets offense at all right now. And coming off of such a big win over Kansas City and the way that defense looked, I think the Steelers have a chance to do the same thing to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're in need of a defense and you're feeling a little risky, maybe go pick up the Steelers defense.
Do you think that Fitzpatrick's going to play that terrible against the Steelers? The Steelers cornerbacks
Absolutely,
are
he's that
iffy.
terrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Steelers have a decent defense, but Fitzpatrick's pretty decent, and he's still got Enwa and Brandon Marshall. I like that one, though. I would definitely start the Steelers' defense. They get sacks, kid, and they get turnovers. They know how to win games. I like that, Slade. So you know what? I'm going to grace you with another AFC North defense. Why not give a shout out to the Ravens defense?
A top 10 fantasy defense, Wes?
Without a doubt.
46 though, percent owned.
Interesting.
Yeah, you
Baltimore
can go and find
Ravens
it, dog.
defense.
And they're the 8th ranked defense right now, and nobody is loving that.
Maybe I'll
They
pick
could
them up.
have a big week against Washington. Washington, besides last week, Jordan Reed, really, they're not that strong as an offense as they were last year. Kirk Cousins definitely isn't as accurate, and when you're not as accurate, you might throw them picks. Picks get you points. That's fantasy championship defense right there. And they're a top 10 defense. Even if you're in a 10 league team, 10 team league, why do you not already have the Ravens owned in over 50%? You might as well go pick them up for this bye week.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
You
They
like
get
Ravens?
sacks too.
They do. Elvis Dumerville's back.
Yeah, that's true. So now they're even going to be better at rushing the quarterback. So that'll be interesting to see.
They're quietly one of the better defenses in the league. You really don't hear much about the Ravens.
Yeah.
I didn't even give them a look, but I got the Vikings, so I'm all good. They ain't got no bye week this week. I might have to pick them up for the Minnesota bye week. I gotta think about when that is. I think that's in 2 weeks.
Well, guess
Might as
what?
well
They'll
pick
probably
them
be
up
gone by then.
right now.
They'll probably lose that
I'm
week.
already
When
adding
you're
them.
When you're
You'd be-
leading scorer,
Stop
yes,
adding them.
inch.
Sorry,
Instead of
dude.
adding them, how about you give me a defense?
I'll trade you. Okay. I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna tell you about a southern team.
We about to go in.
A real southern belle.
So you go from north to south?
Yes,
Southern
north to south,
belle.
real quick. The Titans' defense against Miami.
Boo.
I like that one, actually. I was looking at that. Give me some reasons.
The Titans have a really good run defense, and the Dolphins already can't run, so that's going to be awful for them. And then Ryan Tannehill makes a lot of sloppy mistakes, so I think the Titans are going to be able to force him to at least make 2 turnovers
Yeah, that can be pretty easy
in the
for
game.
them.
So if you're looking for somebody to just fill you in, I think that they'll actually hold true to what they're projected to get, like 6 points. Maybe
Yeah.
better if they're lucky. Who knows?
That's solid. I mean, I'll take that off of defense.
Yeah.
I've
As
had
long as it's not
defenses
negative.
go off for nothing.
0 or
Absolutely
negative is
crush
heartbreaking.
my dreams.
Weirdly enough, if you're searching for the elite in your waiver action, which is never a good idea, the Eagles defense is still available in almost 45% of
You're
leagues.
lying.
Somehow they are the 5th ranked fantasy defense.
Jesus Lord.
They're only 5th
So,
because it was a bye week.
If they're available in your league coming off of the bye, I would go out and snatch them real quick and play them going forward because
Definitely. If they're
They're gonna-
available, yeah.
they're going to be a strong unit,
Without a doubt.
especially in fantasy.
I wanted the Philadelphia Eagles one so bad, but I needed Sproles. I had to pick up Sproles that week, and Craig snakes the Eagles defense. And for whatever reason, I can't start both the Minnesota Vikings defense and the Eagles defense in the flex.
Would you guys start Buccaneers defense if Cam doesn't play?
If Cam
I think
doesn't
that's
play,
a
yeah.
reasonable matchup.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Absolutely. It's
Derek
like
Henderson looked
starting him
trash.
against Case Keenum.
Not quite.
shot in the dark.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Bucks did get a pick 6 on him.
Their secondary is still
True.
pretty trash, though. Everybody kind of sure poopies on them. I mean,
Yeah, well,
they're
that's
not
exactly
a great
my
defense.
point.
Gerald McCoy might not even play, so that defense is definitely going to be down. That's their
Yeah, well,
leader
Noah
on
Spence
D.
isn't going to play either.
Does he even play? I don't even think I've seen the Bucks game this year, to be quite honest with you.
Well, you should probably watch.
What
Yeah,
about if
I should
Simeon
probably-
doesn't play for Denver? Do you maybe stream the Falcons defense?
No, I think Lynch looked good.
That's the thing. I
Think
might
so?
want to backpedal.
I don't
If
know.
Simeon doesn't
Back,
play,
back, back,
I
back, back.
actually, if you need a quarterback,
The game is in Denver. The game is in Denver.
You might have to go with Paxton Lynch.
I think he showed he was pretty good last
If
year.
Simeon's not going to play, the man threw for 170 yards
In a
and a
fill-in role.
touchdown in half a game. The kid came in and he did it, and he's got weapons.
Yeah. Emmanuel and Demarius look like beasts.
But
And
honestly,
a run
guys,
dog,
Emmanuel's
but
killing it.
we're done with quarterback. We're done
no,
with
check that. Going
Check
back to QB, if
Wait.
we're picking up a rookie this week, it's going to be Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Still
There you
available
go.
in 45% of leagues. That's a lot.
How did we get back on quarterback? Get out of quarterback. We got one more defense. Pace, where's your defense at, dog? We need defense.
Dude, there were no good defenses on here. I'll say play the Buccaneers if Cam doesn't play. I'll
like
say, oh my gosh, like dude,
Oh my lord! Can we talk about Emmanuel Sanders for a minute?
Yeah, that's what I would
Emmanuel
play.
Sanders has
The
been
last
popping
2
off.
weeks.
Let's talk about Emmanuel
All right. At
Both them were
Cincinnati,
receivers.
at Cincinnati 2 weeks ago, he had 9 catches for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns, 27.5 points.
Ew.
Then last week against Tampa Bay, he had 8 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. 18. If he continues to eat at this volume, he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver.
The Denver Broncos been spreading the ball around because Demaryius Thomas, dating back the last 3 weeks, has at least 5 catches and 90 yards in the last 3 games and 2 touchdowns in that time frame.
That's crazy. Their
So
offense is really...
Both of their receivers are eating, and so is CJ.
I mean, Peyton looked terrible, so
Man, you
it
guys
makes
wanna,
sense.
You guys want to talk about Broncos receivers? I don't want to hear about that. Let's talk about them Cardinals receivers.
No.
And let's talk about
What's going on with that group?
Let's talk about their new second wide receiver. The king of the north, John Smoke. First with his name, John Brown. Dog, after putting up nothing, they were talking about those concussion
John Brown is
symptoms
back.
still lingering. 2 games of doing nothing, just chilling on the bench. I traded for this man. I was sassed. He went off the last 2 weeks. And last week had, on 16 targets, had 10 catches for 144 yards. No touchdown. I mean, he ain't going to get one every week. But even so, in that PPR league, he had a 19.5. John, that kid is a monster. He's back. Carson's not playing tonight. I started him.
There you go.
Drew Stanton ain't the worst thing that could ever happen.
It's like Derek Anderson.
He's better than Derek Anderson, though. He stepped up and he's used to start
The
for
last
them.
game he just filled in for him, guess what he went? 4 for 11. It was great.
Drew Stanton?
Yes.
He's better.
For like 11 yards and 2
Yeah, but look at his...
He'll be a
Look
little
at
bit more
Drew
threat
Stanton.
this week.
You know what? I'm just loving John Brown. I'm thinking he's a beast. He catches the ball. He's been targeted 26 times. You don't think that kid's been sitting on the bench looking at this man catch the ball and being like, yeah, I can throw to Larry, but maybe I can throw to this guy over here.
Dude, this
I'm
is
starting
like,
John
that's
Brown.
the first game he's produced all year, man.
Yeah.
Second
He, like,
game
just-
he's produced.
Second game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put up a 10.5 the second week. 10.5 is solid for a flex. Let's go. Yeah, remember, I got Jorgie, Nelson, and T.Y.
I just think of all weeks, this probably isn't the week to start him.
Nah, I actually like him.
Yeah, alright.
The Niners are trash. Who are the Niners going to put on him?
Navarro, oh wait.
Are the Niners
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
put...
yeah.
The Niners aren't going to put points up on him, so they can do whatever they like. They'll be on defense forever. They're going to get tired of running after John Brown all game. It's Blaine Gabbert versus Drew Stanton.
Oh my gosh, I'm not watching the game. I forgot about that.
I'll watch
dude.
it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm
It's
not.
still for
That's
big.
terrible. No.
I got Cardinals defense starting tonight. I love it against Blaine Gabbert. Love it. And Chip
That's just
Kelly is
disrespectful
trash.
that the league even has this game scheduled.
I know.
I mean,
Colin Kaepernick.
so
when is
Matt,
Colin
you said-
Kaepernick going to start?
So, Bass, you said you're high on John Brown this week, then?
Love John Brown.
Well, let's get away from the highs of John Brown and dive a little deeper. Get a little low. Talk about something a little disappointing. About my guy DeAndre Hopkins. This is a guy that went in the first round of almost all the drafts. I love him, one of my favorite players. This week, he went out and got 1 catch for 4 yards. 4 yards, people, and it doesn't get any better for him this week. Now he has to travel to Minnesota to versus the league's #1 ranked defense.
With Brock Osweiler.
Are we worried about DeAndre Hopkins here, fellas?
Sometimes I worry.
Yes.
Sometimes I worry.
I don't like what I see out of Brock either, my friend.
Brock Osweiler is average, and he's inconsistent. So he's thrown some terrible balls to DeAndre Hopkins that I've seen all season long, and they've gotten picked off or he's overthrown them. Poor Hopkins. Last game when he finally caught the ball in the fourth quarter, he picked the ball up and he kissed it because he missed it so bad.
And that was against Tennessee. He faces
Against Tennessee, yeah.
Xavier Rhodes in
Trey
Minnesota's
Waynes.
defense this week. Yes, 2 of the best corners in the league right
it's
now.
crazy. So
Trey Waynes' rookie's playing out of his mind.
I am a little worried. Maybe not so much, though, because I feel like there's no way that Brock can ignore the talent that he is. Or Bill O'Brien. So they're gonna have to feed him the ball this week to make up for last week, or he's not gonna be a happy.
He did
man.
have 6 targets though last week. I might be a little worried about my friend.
Yeah, 6 terrible targets. You should have seen the balls that were being thrown to him.
Osweiler just
They were
doesn't know
pretty
what he's
bad.
doing.
You playing him this week? Yeah.
I'm starting up too. I got
He's
him
got to
in the
bounce
league.
back
have
from
to,
that.
right?
He's
It's
got to
like-
bounce back from that.
Yeah.
And he was
There's no way
fourth overall pick, 5th overall pick.
Yeah. There's no
Fifth
way
overall
they
pick.
don't feed
So-
him the ball more than one time. They target him 6. Usually he's.
Why aren't you
those high
targeting
teams.
DeAndre Hopkins twice
What are
a
you
game
doing?
in the first
You know what?
place?
Keep doing it though, Osweiler.
Well,
I
Will
don't care
Fuller
about
is
fantasy.
he's been going off.
Real life.
Yeah.
Will Fuller's a G.
He's great.
I wish I would have looked at him. He is a beast.
I looked at him and Sterling Shepard, but then I never pulled the trigger during the draft.
Yeah.
I wish I had Sterling Shepard.
They're both good.
Odell's nothing but a letdown.
Oh, well.
He's just not
It's
having
crazy
fun
that
with it
only
anymore.
Julio and Ant Brown out of 4 receivers are producing currently in fantasy.
Yeah. AJ Green.
Oh, AJ wasn't taken in
Jordy
that
Nelson.
early though.
Jordy
Not that
Nelson,
early.
second round.
8th.
Yeah.
That was my boy
That's
right
true.
there.
My man Allen Robinson's coming around with the TDs. Let's get it in.
Yeah, their offense is hopefully going to start clicking. So when that happens, he's definitely going to get more 2-touchdown games.
They need more of
he
that
always
run
does
game
that.
to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, well now with
Absolutely.
Jokel out, they can finally have a good starting guard. So they'll have a good guard, left tackle, and the
I
line
don't
will
know if
actually be
losing
able
a
to block.
lineman is the answer.
No, losing Luke Jokel is always the answer. It's been the answer for years. A bust is a bust. You can't have it on the line. He's gotten beaten multiple times. Don't stop.
But
me.
why are we talking about receivers and linemen, Craig? We should be going back to back.
Big.
We should just be going back to back. And that's what we're going to do. Your actual favorite segment on this 4th and Goal cast. Back to back. And this week, I got some for you guys. I'm going to hand them out this week. I love it. And we're going to start off with Pace. Pace, I got you probably my favorite one. It's between two of them great running backs this year. You might have been able to get both of these guys. If you are, you're paying off in dividends. Pace, are you starting Ezekiel Elliott playing Cincinnati this week? Are you starting the number 1 running back this year, DeMarco Murray against Miami?
Ooh.
2 big name guys. That could be a dilemma. Who you starting?
Those are both huge, big name guys. I love them both. But I think I would start Ezekiel Elliott over DeMarco Murray. I know Murray has been scoring more touchdowns, so he could go off for 2 touchdowns a game sometimes, and gets more catches than Elliott does, although not many. But I think Elliott's the man. I love
What you
him a lot
laughing
right
for?
now. I'm just looking at the rankings. DeMarco's ranked, number 1 running back in the league right now. So going against that, it's hard to. But I like the matchup against Cincinnati's defense. They're a good D, but Dallas has been just running the ball a lot. 140 yards and 138 yards back-to-back weeks for Elliott. They're playing at home. I think they'll try to run it often, get that going so they can open up the passing game. So I would just go with Elliott. That's me, though. I love him. I think he's great right now.
Yeah, I like Elliott right there, but I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against that number 1 fantasy running back in the league right now. He's
Okay.
scoring
You can't really
multiple
bench.
touchdowns.
You can't
in the-
bench either of them. I think you
Either
start
way,
both of
realistically, unless you're the biggest pimp in the world,
Yeah.
and you also have Le'Veon Bell coming off a suspension with those 2 guys, you're not going to sit both of them anyway. But if you got to, I think I'm going to go with Zeke. I'm going to let the rookie sit for this guy. The Tennessee Titans run that ball so much. DeMarco Murray looks like the back he was with Dallas a couple, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I would, in my opinion, go with him. But I like Ezekiel Elliott. I like that pick, kid.
I think you can't go wrong with either.
They
DeMarco
both
could
run the ball
outscore him
like
for
it
sure.
ain't nothing. But yeah, I'm liking DeMarco.
Cool. Respect.
All right.
Yeah, solely based on matchup, I think I'm going to agree with you, Bass, because he's versus the Miami Dolphins, and I think Tennessee has a chance to maybe win that game and even be up for the majority of the game. DeMarco Murray is going to be running a lot, and it's a tough matchup for Dallas against Cincy, so I could potentially see them getting away from the run a little bit. But yeah, it's a big toss-up right there. Ezekiel Elliott has been running his tail off the last 2 weeks, and DeMarco Murray has just been a stud all year.
He has.
But yeah, I think I'm going to go DeMarco Murray right there.
You know what, Craig? I want to hear your input now. It's 2-1. Who you going with? You sign with us or you going with Pace?
I think it's really hard, honestly. I think you really can't afford to bench either of those guys.
Well, you got to do it. You got to bench one.
Got to do it. There's no way. You got Le'Veon Bell sitting right there. Who are you benching? You got You got Julio Jones in the flex.
I mean,
can't even start him there.
Julio Jones.
You're the greatest team of all time.
I probably go with DeMarco Murray, honestly, because I feel like Ezekiel has a harder defense to play against with Vontae Burfict at back and Geno Atkins and that whole defensive Adam Pac-Man, all that. I think they're a really talented defense, and they're finally coming together. So I'd like DeMarco Murray just because of the matchup specifically. He's going against Miami, who's been terrible with running backs this year. So I think that DeMarco Murray is definitely going to have a big game again. So I think you have to play him. He's number one, too. So you can't really bench number one, can you?
Without a doubt.
Real quick, we're going to go back down to earth. We're going to talk about ones you can actually get. This one I just checked out. I'm going to give this for the group. If you had to, these are both guys you could have got on the waiver wire early in the year. Would you go with Terrence West, the guy we just talked about playing Washington's defense, or the guy who is busting off Isaiah Crowell, but he's playing the Patriots? You could have got these guys on waivers. Who you guys going with?
For the week, I'm probably going Terrence West, but for the season, I'm picking Crowell.
Oh, no doubt.
Strictly based off matchup, I think Crowell's the best player for the Browns right now. So Bill Belichick is definitely going to try to take him out of the game completely. So, I mean, this week I'm definitely going Terrence West. He just had his breakout game pretty much for the Ravens. And Washington isn't necessarily a strong front starting out. They just lost D'Angelo Hall and the rookie Suwak Cravens, their middle linebacker, on injuries. So, I think the Redskins defense is looking pretty weak right now, and Terrence West will probably have another big day. But going forward, overall, I think Crowell will be the guy to own.
Yeah, strictly this
week. Starting, though, Terrence West this week. That's what I'm going with. Bench Crowell.
Strictly this week, I'm going with Terrence West. If you got the two, Terrence West is going to eat, like you said. Terrence West is going to probably be this week. I don't think Kenneth Dixon's coming back this week. I was checking it out. They're not too sure about that one from what I read. Terrence West is going to get a lot of carries after a great performance like that. And Isaiah Crowell, like you said, he's the best player on the Cleveland Browns. Not only that, he's also got Duke Johnson Jr. coming off the bench behind him, who, besides that phantom fumble from last week, he would have had an 11.5 in PPR leagues. This week, I'm going Terrence West as well. Terrence West, my bad.
You said that.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. That was well said.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
It's great.
With
You agree? Love it.
Yeah.
Craig, tell me you agree, baby.
I agree solely just because Tom Brady is going to poop on the Browns. So Crowell's going to get no type of rushes.
Yeah, but it's not
a close game.
No.
It's not like they can pass the ball, so why not
Tom
just try and keep running the ball?
I think he's going to throw 4 to 6 touchdown passes.
46 touchdown passes would be the most ever in a game.
I said 4 to 6.
I'm just messing with you.
You mother.
You mother.
Anyways, yeah, I don't think you can start Crowell against the defense. So Terrence West against Washington. Washington's been terrible against the run. You have to go with Terrence West.
Well, I think that's a clean sweep for Terrence West right
there.
there.
I mean, Terrence West is this week's stud.
A lot of times, it really depends on the matchups, but you got to go towards those matchups. The big names can get shut down if they're getting focused on like that, and there's not many people to focus on the Cleveland Browns offense besides him and Pryor. Duke Johnson Jr. is pretty good, but, I mean, they're probably not worried with Crowell coming in there. But, clean sweep for West. I liked it. You guys got one for me?
I got one for you, Bass.
Who we got? Group decision.
I do
Who
too.
we going with?
All right, we got these two backs actually verse each other in the game. This week, we got two top-tier backs. This might be a bit of a tough decision for you, Ball, but we got LaShawn McCoy versus Todd Gurley.
Ooh.
In this week's back-to-back for you.
That's an interesting one.
Who you going with? You got to bench one.
Man. I'm going to have to go with Shady. Shady has been popping off.
Starting Shady?
Again.
Against that LA front?
I'm not going to lie to it. LA front. Hilarious.
Just contain David Johnson.
That's fine. LaShawn McCoy's probably the hottest back in the league right now. This man is killing it. LaShawn McCoy brought me to that fantasy championship last year. And I just like the matchup. LA wasn't really what they were last year. They've lost a couple defensive players. I mean, they're still pretty good defense. They shut down the Seahawks somehow yet again to, 3 points?
Yeah, Russell Wilson had one.
I'm still going to go with the homeboy. Can't sit him.
What about you? We have the in-house Rams fan page. Who are you going with tonight?
I love it.
Todd Gurley or LaShawn McCoy?
I'd probably go McCoy as well.
Interesting.
McCoy over his own back. Let's hear about this.
I just think he has the potential to score more points, get more catches. I know we have a good line, but I still think he's like the big playmaker over there. So
Great line. My man has just
Elite
not been
line,
showing up, bro.
Hall of Fame even.
That's the only problem with Todd Gurley. So many people drafted him so high, and
I know
he's not anything close to what he was last year. It's a crying shame. Shame.
I do.
Second best back in the league, arguably, behind Adrian Peterson last year, and he's literally doing nothing. It makes me unhappy.
What do you think? Who you going this week between those two guys?
Easily LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy has
I lied.
balled out every week.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can bench him.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
And Gurley has not
in
balled out.
fantasy.
Well,
He had that
Gurley
one week
is
where
not.
he had 2 touchdowns.
Check that. Yeah, I had to say I messed up. He did have that 20-point game.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's
my
one,
bad.
though.
But yeah, he hasn't scored double digits yet. My bad.
Well, this will not be a clean sweep.
Scooching.
I'm picking Todd Gurley this week.
My man.
I think the Rams front is way too good. They're going to overwhelm Buffalo's offensive line, which hasn't played very well this season. Buffalo's down weapons. They just lost their deep threat, who kind of takes the top off of defenses, and Sammy Watkins. LaShawn McCoy is very good, shifty, but the Rams have just been shutting down everyone, like you guys have said, just putting the clamps on people. So if the game's close and the score is low, I'm picking the Ramrod, Todd Gurley, to just keep pounding away on that Buffalo defense. They're not as strong as they were in years prior, so
Yeah.
I think this could be the breakout game for Todd on this early season.
They were also,
First game over 100 yards. I'm calling it right here.
I'd love to see it, man.
I could see that. Last week he caught 2 passes, and this whole week they've been saying they're going to try to throw to him a little bit.
Wow,
more.
that's finally smart.
Right? How long have I and we been saying that? Like, you got to throw this man the ball
really
because you
not that
can't
hard.
run him up the middle every time.
Yeah, not when they're filling the box, so I don't know why they don't just run swing passes with
Yeah.
him.
And it gets the quarterbacks like boosted and stuff like that. It kind of helps everything. So
Yeah.
I think you could see him catch like maybe 3 or 4 passes this week. That's points right there. And then, of course, rushing. And he's the goal line back. So he's the workhorse for sure.
That's
Yes.
if Keenum can get him the ball.
I got one.
But yeah, we need another one. Come on now.
I got one for you
We need
guys.
another one. Back to back.
I got
To back to back.
Lamar Miller
Mm-hmm.
against Minnesota.
Oh.
Or
Mm,
Eddie Lacy against the Giants.
that's a tough one. I don't like either of those matchups.
That's the point.
Not at all.
Trying to make it hard on you.
Oh,
Give you something more
God.
difficult to figure out.
Eddie Racy, baby. Where is Eddie Racy?
He's 13th, and Lamar's 9th.
You know
for
what?
Position ranking.
You guys cool if I start?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm going Lamar still. I know it's a tough matchup, number 1 defense, especially going there, but I don't know. The Packers' run game has been really struggling, and Lamar Miller's gotten 25 carries in every game.
Ooh.
Sorry, 25 touches, excuse me. So with that amount of volume that he's seen in Houston, despite their rushing struggles as well, I just think that Lamar Miller would be the guy I would go with this week. Even though Eddie Lacy's coming off a bye, he's going to be fresh. The Packers are looking to run the ball still, so he could obviously get those goal line touches, punch one in for you. But honestly, Lamar Miller's been putting up good numbers without scoring touchdowns, so if he gets his first one this week, he could potentially even be a big game for you out there.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'll go. I mean, I'm going to agree with you, Slade. Eddie Lacy has not shown me anything. Really, it's sad. Eddie Lacy was good, and then all of a sudden somebody said he was fat, and then all of a sudden he's bad.
He did have
Somebody
100
broke
yards
his
right before the
self-esteem,
bye, though.
man. He did have 100 yards, but it took him so long, and it's because they were already up by 20, 20-something points by the end of the first half. They needed to run the ball. Rodgers only threw 6 times. Lamar Miller is getting those steady, high-volume amounts of carries. He's the bell horse. Bleh. Why can't I
Bell
think of
cow.
anything? Bell cow. There we go. Oh, God.
Yeah, bad.
He's the bell cow. He's going to get the carries. And the crazy thing is, he's still doing good, and he has yet to reach the end zone yet. Those touchdowns are going to come for Lamar Miller. If Osweiler can pick it up, I'm going to go with Lamar Miller this week against that tough matchup. Go with the name. Eddie Lacy just needs to show me something. That's all.
What you going with, Pace?
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller. Let's all hop on the Lamar.
Yeah, just worth the risk this week. It's a good defense, but he's still their back, and he's been getting like 10, 11, 13s. He's been really consistent. So
Yeah, I mean, I just plugged it in. He's got 73 rushes for 351 yards. So he's averaging 4.8 yards per carry, basically 5 yards.
He runs the ball.
Good.
That's definitely first in the league.
First in the league?
For how many rushes he's had, for over 50 rushes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Lamar Miller?
Yeah.
That's actually
So
really good.
definitely have to go with him regardless because, yeah, he gets such a high volume. He gets like over 20. He's had over 20 rushes 3 times this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ridiculous.
If it's a PPR league as well, no question, because Eddie Lacy will produce almost nothing in the receiving game.
Yeah, they like to use Starks for that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, Starks is a D.
But that's still tough, though. The New York Giants defense is at least appealing. I hate touching that Minnesota defense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, real quick before we wrap this up, we're going lightning round. 2 PPR backs: Giovanni Bernard, Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles is playing the Lions. Giovanni Bernard is playing. Check that. Dallas. I should have known that. I got Jeremy Hill starting. What am I doing? I'm fucking up here. But let's go. Those 2 pass catching backs, neither of them are starters. But if you got to start them, who you going with?
Say it again.
Darren Sproles, Gio Bernard.
Okay.
Who's kicking us off?
Need to know the matchups.
I'll kick us off. The matchups are the Lions versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
And it's
Dallas.
Cincinnati,
Dallas and Cincinnati.
Them NFC East
So-
defenses.
I think
That sucks.
you definitely go Gio Bernard. Because I think that it's going to be a high passing game against Dallas. I think they're going to be able to hold their own on the run, but when it comes to the passing offense, I don't think they're going to be able to contain A.J. Green at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you look for Gio Bernard to get at least like 6 receptions, which he could turn into 50-plus yards, maybe a touchdown.
Yeah.
Maybe some rushing attempts to that, too. So I think he's got a better floor.
Yeah.
I'm going Sproles.
Sprolesy.
Sproles went off last week with a nice long touchdown, and he's right in Wentz's range of like those short 5 to 10 yard routes and kind of the kind of offense they're trying to run right now. So I think he'll be a main player.
Now the coach Dougie Peterson, he loves Sproles. It's the perfect back for that system. They love to pass to the backs in that Andy Reid kind of offense.
Yeah.
I'm starting Sproles this week.
He gets
And let me tell you,
too.
Jeremy Hill has controlled that backfield. What used to be a dual threat backfield, Jeremy Hill has all of the rushes. He just had 21 against the Dolphins. He's the man you want to start in that backfield. And I'm starting Sproles. That man, Carson Wentz, loves him some Darren Sproles. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, I just saw Sproles kill it last week. I mean, before the bye. So
Without a doubt. And he had that bye. They're definitely going to be feeding that man. Slade, what you feeling?
This week, I think I'm going to go with Giovanni Bernard.
Wow.
I love the matchup for Sproles,
An
but
actual surprise.
if the Eagles get up big in that game, they're likely to probably run with backs other than Darren Sproles, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Gio Bernard has yet to score a rushing touchdown this year, but he has been getting carries, and while he hasn't been doing much with them, Jeremy Hill is questionable for the game. So, if Gio would be the lone back, I think it's hands down, no question. You go with Gio Bernard right there.
Yeah.
Real
Because
quick.
he brings PPR, and he runs the ball hard when he does get his carries. So, I mean, I might go Gio Bernard this week, especially with the what seems to be a four-headed backfield in Philadelphia.
Now, adding on to that real quick, no, it definitely affects the fantasy football league. This new injury report system is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I have Jeremy Hill. I'm starting Jeremy Hill. I went and looked at Jeremy Hill after the game. Nothing reported. All of a sudden, he's questionable. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, what happened in the, one day since he's played? He didn't look injured.
Yeah.
He got messed up. He hit his, he banged up his shoulder in that game, but he came back and carried the ball 21 times. I'm like, what could have happened to him?
Yeah.
The injury report says, we have no clue why Jeremy Hill is listed as questionable, but he came out. Nothing is listed.
Yeah, I wish they would give more detail on the injury, and I wish they would say probable like they used to.
Ew, it's
and
absolutely
doubtful. It just would help so much more. Questionable is... That sounds really bad. That sounds like he's probably not going to play. Like, that's questionable.
Yeah, you have no clue anymore. Questionable can mean anything.
Yeah.
Antonio Gates has been questionable for 3 straight weeks, and then all of a sudden becomes doubtful come Saturday or Sunday.
Well, no, he doesn't become doubtful. He just becomes questionable still.
No, he also just becomes real out once it hits game time. They're like, oh, wait, he's out. Questionable, out.
I wonder why they changed it up. I guess it's just too much work. Like, they'd have to hire some person to sit there all day and, decide how bad the injury really is to categorize it.
It's terrible. I can't stand it, and I can't believe we really haven't talked about it much. Maybe we did touch on it in a previous episode. Jump on it. But we never jumped on it. I don't think we ever jumped on it. And it's just crazy. I've been checking the injury list every week, and you just never know because healthy people are injured all the time because questionable can mean anything. You can stub your toe and be questionable, or you could be half dead in your bed.
Dead in your
I think Chris Ivory was questionable week 1.
Chris Ivory's always questionable.
And he was in the hospital.
He's just a questionable.
He was in the hospital all come Saturday.
He's still in the hospital.
Marvin Jones is questionable too.
Yeah.
So is Julian Edelman.
You said they were limited though, right?
So is Charles Sims.
Yeah.
All questionable.
Charles
Crazy.
Sims probably won't play.
But you know what? While we don't understand that, let's talk about something we do understand. We understand Hail Marys. Brought to you by Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers himself. This is the segment Hail Mary, where we're going to pick up some guys that you probably haven't looked at before, but maybe this week you should look at these guys.
Oh.
And if you don't know about this segment by now, where you been? We going with the Hail Marys, the most exciting part of this league. We're digging deep, real deep into those waiver wires to bring you these players.
Yeah.
And it's always an honor to start off. I can't even think of it. Hail Marys.
Hail Marys.
Who wants to start off Hail Marys?
Losing your brain, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
first of all,
completely gone.
you're concerning me.
You need to clean yourself up.
You
man.
need to clean up.
Yeah, you really sound like you've blown a
Does
fuse.
not compete.
Let me say my
Does
Hail
not
Mary
compete.
pick. Let me say my Hail Mary pick first since you already spoiled it.
Can I bring an intro?
I'm going Richard Rodgers. Definitely pick him up. He's starting tight end for Aaron Rodgers this week. Jared Cook is out. It'll be all him. He can throw him touchdowns. We've seen it before. Check out Richard Rodgers. He's definitely available in your league. They're playing in Lambeau against the Giants. You know, they love to play there. Since we talked about him a little earlier, I'll give you one more. This is a super Hail Mary. Jalen Richard, running back for the Raiders.
Richard, not Richard.
Yeah, it's not Richard, but if you're searching it, because I know you will since I give great advice,
Jalen Richard.
type in Richard, but it's Richard. But he's the Raiders' second running back right now behind DeAndre Washington with Latavius Murray injured. Him, Richard and Washington have been splitting carries, but they're kind of even on that front. I think DeAndre is getting the start this week, but he also fumbled in the fourth quarter last week and then took himself out of the game. And I don't know, they might try to work with Jalen a little bit more this week. But they're playing the Chargers, who've given up big numbers against the running backs. And Richard also takes back kicks and punt returns. So there's some other potential there. Those are my two Hail Marys.
The epitome of
Yeah.
Hail Mary, though, Richard Rodgers. I love it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 6.8% owned is crazy. He catches only touchdowns.
Yeah.
He can win you a game. He's a risky biz player. But I like Richard Rodgers. That's a great Hail Mary.
Thanks.
Who we going with?
I'm going to go back to the Tennessee Titans again.
Back to the back?
Tajay Sharp.
Tajay Sharp, I like this.
He's received 31 targets already.
Wow.
And it's the top target on the Tennessee Titans. So I think that going against Miami, he has a great chance of having a pretty big game. I'd say maybe 5-6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. So that's pretty good. I think that he'll be able to fill in for you. Maybe he starts to catch more of the balls that are thrown his way because he's only caught 17 of them. So he only has like a 56% catch rate. But
yeah, they're big on him,
if
too.
he picks up the slack on that a little more, I think that he could start to produce a lot and pretty consistently.
Yeah, I like Tajay Sharp. I mean, I really don't like him, but that's for a whole nother reason than fantasy. They really like him over in Tennessee. I mean, Kendall Wright's back, and he can't even get looks, and this man is just taking all the targets over there, him and Delaney Walker. I like that as a Hail Mary. I could play him.
Thanks.
Slade, I need another one. Another one.
My Hail Mary for this week is available in 81% of leagues still. He is San Diego Chargers wide receiver Dontrell Inman.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Wait, not Travis Benjamin?
Did you say Nacho Inman?
Travis Benjamin's a slot. He has been playing opposite Tyrell Williams for the last 2 weeks in San Diego's offense. He replaced Keenan Allen as the other outside receiver. And just really excelled in his role. He had 11 targets last week, 7 catches for 120 yards, and a touchdown. No one knows about it. No one picked him up this week. He's still available in a ton of leagues. If you got guys on buys or you need a spot start because of injury, why not Inman? You know what I mean? He plays a leaky Oakland pass defense who has allowed some of the tops in the league in yardage. And I just think you could do a lot worse if you're looking to stream a flex play this week than Dontrell Inman. I would go out and pick him up and play him.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a Hail Mary. Plus, he's a big-bodied guy, so he might actually be able to get you a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
What about you, Ball?
He's beautiful.
What are you picking up this week?
I'm going to tell you, I was digging real deep. And I might have found me a little gem. Bobby Rainey. Running back for the Giants. Now,
he's still in the league?
it sounds terrible. But you got to remember, Vereen is out for the whole season. Who knows about Rashad Jennings right now? Rashad Jennings gave it up to Orleans Darkwa. The guy to look out for is Bobby Rainey. He's going to be that pass-catching back. He's going to fit right into Vereen's role. And just last week had 7 receptions for 43 yards. He's going to be playing the Packers defense, so it's real Hail Mary. They have a pretty good defense. But the main thing is they're going to score on the Giants' defense. They're going to put up points. They're going to have to throw the ball. And it's looking like Eli Manning liked Bobby Rainey against Minnesota's defense, the number 1 fantasy defense. So I got to go throw my Hail Mary up to Bobby Rainey, and you better catch that for a TD.
I think he could produce pretty well because the Giants always like to have a passing down running back like Vereen. They threw to him a lot, so I think he could fill in as that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's really a hit or miss, like Slade said. Bobby Rainey's been in the league for a while, really has not made any noise at all. And we'll just have to see. I like his role. That's the thing. Vereen plays that role very well. We'll see if Bobby Rainey can pick up a little of that slack because it's a big role over there for the Giants. I really like that.
Agreed.
But I think we only got one more segment to do.
What's that?
I think we're going to go with the join game of the week this week.
What did Pace say earlier about it?
We want that. We're going to pick one fantasy game this week. We're switching it up. People don't like change.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we
sometimes
bring
changes for
change.
the better.
Are we bringing change?
Changes for the better sometimes.
I mean, change. That's all I could say. I could do some change. So this week we're gonna pick that one. Pick that one matchup. There is a couple good games out there. There are some stinker games. There's gonna be some crazy wild games, as is tradition in the NFL. There's always those wild games. But we got some good ones where some points could be put up, especially in the fantasy. The Colts-Bears could honestly be a shootout with how bad those defenses are. One-sided ones like the Patriots versus the Browns are going to be obvious. Then let's maybe Matty Ice kills it this week against the Broncos. You never know.
You told me no earlier. So.
Let me know. Who you guys think is going to be the game of the week this week? Who are we looking at? Because I'm feeling that it's going to be the Chargers versus the Raiders.
That
has
was
to
my
be.
vote. That was my vote too.
Yeah, it has
Chargers,
to
Raiders, two buns defenses, two solid offenses. It's going to be a rivalry game. I'm going to go with them.
be. Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. They have two great quarterbacks, and they love chucking the ball.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, 3-1 Raiders have really turned it on as of late. They've been putting up points. They just put up 28 against the Ravens, who, like we said earlier in the show, are the number 8 fantasy defense right now. There's going to be a lot of offensive yards in this game. Both defenses cannot stop the pass nor the run.
Not at all.
You could even start those guys like DeAndre Washington if Latavius Murray doesn't play. Jalen Ricketts. And Melvin Gordon, you can always start him. He's going to score a couple touchdowns, except against Indy.
It's Rashard.
Ricketts.
Ricketts.
Eat your Alberto beef jerky.
He's breaking Ricketts.
He's breaking all the records. Pick him up right now, kid. He's the smart own. But yeah, as you can see, it's a unanimous decision. It's always easy to pick the Chargers. We got to get away from the Chargers one time.
They put up
I feel like
points,
it's been
man.
like 2
They
straight
put up
weeks.
points.
Their defense is
Inman,
bad.
baby,
they're
watch
always
out.
playing
That's
some-
Troy
Okay,
Inman,
wait,
Hail Mary of the week.
But they get Joey Bosa back.
Oh, I was shaking in my
So maybe
boots.
there's a little
This is
something
coming back. Wow.
Joey
for the defense.
Bosa.
Although
finally signed it in.
they lost Verrett.
Yeah, after the
He's a
season.
solid cornerback.
Wow, Michael
Tore his
Crabtree might have 3
ACL.
more touchdowns.
Tore his ACL.
4 or 5
So,
even. They ain't got nobody after
That's
him.
why it's going
so.
to be crazy.
But
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I think that we wanted to cover.
so yeah, I think
pretty
that
much
is
wraps us
it.
up for the week.
Pace, you know what to do, bro.
Yeah, wrap it
Where
up
can they
with
find us at?
What are they looking for us at, bro?
What's
Where
our
they
location?
Yeah, give me your location. Tell me your story.
Because hold on, I'll tell you right now, my baby, you need to follow us on Twitter. First off, you're gonna get all of those beautiful tweets, comedy, fantasy, liquid gold. Hit us up at 4th and Goal Cast. Follow us. We'll shout you out. Come follow us. It's great. There's no reason you shouldn't follow us and get all this goodness. Pace is going to give you the rest.
All right, hit us up on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher. That's it right now.
Yeah.
But follow us on all those. Those all have the audio for you to download and listen to. I think the most important one's the Twitter, though. That is active as hell right now.
Constantly on that, so please.
Not right now.
Tweet your
We're
questions.
kind of in the middle.
Tweet your
We're-
questions at us.
Yo.
And we're on
as
there
usual.
as at 4th and Goal Cast.
Yes.
So just give us a follow, and we'll keep you updated all week.
Yeah, come check us out. I know I'm loving it, baby. I love tweeting. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. We're going to go check out this game against the 2 greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen play a game. And we'll be back next Thursday at 7 to bring you even more fantasy knowledge. So, with that, unless anybody else has got something to say,
All I have to say is good luck in fantasy this week, everybody. Let's get it.
All out.
we out.
Let's go Rams. Peace.
Let's go, India.
Go
Welcome,
Birds.
baby. You know who's the worst person on the show?
You guys are
Pace.
badges. Yo, 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 yo.